Welcome to my channel, Dad Swag. My name is Matt. Now let's get this video rolling.
Hello YouTube and welcome back to Dad Swag. Today we're going to do another tutorial on YouCut Pro. This is part 2. So today what I want to get into is how to add music. Also the last time that we did the previous video, or part 1, there was a portion where we added text. And in that, I want to show you how you can move that text around your screen, put where you want, whether it's the top of the screen, bottom of the screen, and also how you can set certain time for that to happen, or how long you want it to be there for. We may add a couple other things and go through a few things as I walk you through this tutorial, but for right now, those are the two main topics for this video here. So let's go ahead and get started here. Now, if you remember last time when we got started, we went ahead and we clicked that white circle at the bottom with the orange plus there. So we're going to go ahead and click that again. And now, depending on what you want to do here, maybe you're wanting to start a new project, you would go ahead and click that. But I want to pick up from our last video. And since that last video was the last one I touched, it's actually right below new project. So it's that middle box there. Now, let's say if you've done multiple projects or whatever and all that, you want to go back, you can actually click drafts. And it's going to show you all the videos you worked on or that you have not removed from that list yet. So I could go back to any one of these and just pick up from where I last started from. So I know with my YouTube videos, you know, I may be working on multiple projects at a time, whether I just, hey, I need a little break from this one, or hey, I really need to start up another one. You know, there's different reasons for it there. But when I'm totally done with the video, I will absolutely remove the whole thing then, just so it doesn't clutter up everything. So since the last project from the other video is the middle box there, I'm going to go ahead and just tap on that, and it's going to basically pick up from where we left off from last time. So now this concept, what we're going to do today, still applies for every video you're going to be doing here and all that. So if you remember, basically I was filming the front yard. I said, this is my front yard. We had a text right here. So let's go ahead and if this is your first time in this video, I would strongly recommend going and watching the first video first. Then you'll kind of know where we're at right now, and this will make a lot more sense. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go just click that blue box where it said where we add the text, this is my front yard. And let's just say I don't want that text in the middle of the screen there, as you can see at the top. I want to maybe put that at the top of the video. So I want to go ahead and in that big screen where it shows you the video and everything, I'm going to go ahead and just hold my finger on it or press against it, and we're going to drag it to wherever we want. So maybe we want it at the very top. Maybe we want it at the very bottom. Maybe we want it even to rotate this any way we want. So as you can see, we have a lot of options here. We can make it smaller. And what I'm doing to make it smaller and bigger and rotate it, do you see on that rectangle on the bottom right hand corner, those arrows that are diagonal there? I want to go ahead and click on that, and that's going to give me all those options there where I can just do all this here. And so I definitely want it straight, but I think what I want to do for this video, I'm just going to put it up a little bit more, and maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger as well. So you can play around with that and make that however you want. And I don't know if you saw in here see how those two lines is trying to tell me, hey, right here is center. It gives me those up and down lines there. And if I go in the middle, Do you see how it does those sideways as well? So it's kind of trying to help you line everything. And if I put right there, it's smack dab in the middle of that video clip. So it tries to help you align your text and all that wherever you decide you want it. But for this purpose, I still want it up on top a little bit. I think I like it right about there. So now if I play the video,
This is my front yard.
it puts it up there. Now, I still have the same animation for it. It keeps all that there. Basically, all I did was move that text wherever I wanted in the video there. So, the other thing we can do is, which I probably should have done this the last video, but I didn't want to overload everybody with a bunch of information. If we go down to the bottom of the screen where that blue box is, you'll see where it might be a little small on your screen, so you might have to look a little bit carefully, but it says 4.0, so it's 4 seconds. On that box, we have an arrow to the left, and we have an arrow to the right. And what I can do is I can actually drag that out. I can make it, let's just make it super long for fun. So we're going to make it 10 seconds. So I just made my text last for 10
This is my
it's going
front
to be up
yard.
there for quite a while. So I put it there. Now I also have the ability to move it, so the whole text, or from when it starts, so I can move the whole thing to the beginning of the video, or from where I say this is my front yard. So now I really don't want it that long, and this is one of the nice features too in YouCut that they give you is if you look above the trim, so where those scissors are there's an arrow that's kind of pointing to the left and pointing to the right. So I'm going to tap the screen and maybe you'll be able to see where roundish I'm talking about here. So if you see where I'm tapping here is that circle that's kind of blinking on your screen, or should be. Right below that is those two arrows that I'm referring to. Now I can hit the arrow pointing to the left and it just undid what I previously did, what I previously changed in the video. Now if I hit again, it's going to go back again. And I'm going to keep on tapping that until it goes back exactly where it had it where I wanted. So this was originally what we started off with. So if you were ever to make a change in your video and you're like, you know what, I don't really like that, rather than having to undo everything, just tap that arrow to the left. It'll undo it for you and put you back exactly where you were at. Or maybe I hit this button too much, the back arrow, and I'm like, you know what, I went back too far. I need that change to be put back in there. I can hit the other arrow that's pointing to the right, and we'll put it right back where it was previously. So it'll take you one step at a time backwards, or one step going forward each time as well if you keep on clicking on the right arrow. So depending on what you want. So for this purpose, I still want it the way we originally had it. So that's kind of cool. Some things you can do there. Also, if I hit that text blue box, it's going to give me different options within the toolbar here. So, for example, let's say we want to change the color. I can go here and I can make it red, yellow, any color here I can choose. I kind of want something though that sticks out quite a bit. Let's do, I think, you know what, I want to keep white, but I kind of want to make that pop out a little bit more. So you have the ability to change whatever color you want. And then what I can do is I can go to font, and we can change the font style there, so to wherever we want. let's see here. Let's find one that we really like. I want something. And this word can be a little time consuming too, depending on how picky you are and all that. But let's go ahead and just choose one for fun. So we're just going to choose that one, okay? Okay, so let's say that depending on the scenery that your font may be on top of, you may want it or need it to pop out a little bit more to help viewers see what it's saying. So the way you would do that is I would go ahead and tap on the blue text box at the bottom that we're working on. And then in the bar there, we'll see where it says color. So it's that circle with a bunch of different colors in it. We're going to go ahead and just tap on that as well. Now at the bottom, we see the text, label, border, and shadow there. There's a couple of different options we have. We can click on border, and we can click on the color that would be around the text, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about here. See how like it just goes around each letter, it gives it a border with that color, and it just pops out a little bit more. So sometimes if you're in like a green scenery or a darker green, like in this scenario, I just need that little edge there to be able just to see it a little bit better. So I want to go ahead and keep that there. Now in here you can see like I can either trim that that border down a little bit, or I can make it a whole lot thicker. So depending on what you need. So I like it right about here. It seems to be pretty decent right there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to click on that orange check mark to save those settings there. Also, before I forget, and I want to bring this down a little bit here just so you guys can see it. If we go down to shadow, we have some other options here as well. So actually, I probably should take that back a little bit. What I did is I clicked on the color wheel, or actually, let me back up a little bit further than that, just so you guys. If we click on the text, that blue box there, where we add the text at the bottom, we'll then have that those options for the text come up, and in that bar there, where there's that circle with a color, we're going to click on that again, and then from there, at the very bottom again, where it says shadow, we're going to click on that. And that's how I got here. So I apologize about that. I need to take just a tad bit slower for you guys. So in here, it's going to give us options for the shadow. So we got our x-axis, our y-axis, and we got blur. So if I take the x-axis and I move that, see how the shadow's going to the right or to the left? So we can place this where we want it. So it looks like if we look in the background just to have fun with this, the tree shadow is kind of going to the back of it and slightly to the right. So we're going to just try and match that for fun. So I want to take the x-axis and go to the right just a little bit, like right about there. And then we're going to take the y-axis and go out there too. So see how we can just change that a little bit. Now you may not want that, or maybe you want something totally different. It's all up to you, however you want it, you know, but at least you know that option is there. Okay, so we completed pretty much what we want to do for the text. I mean, there might be some other options. Just play around a little bit. I mean, I think I covered the more difficult things under the text. So let's go ahead and move over to the music. So before we get too crazy with adding music, I want to warn you guys, if you're planning on putting any of this on social media, be very careful what you're putting on, because there is a ton of music that have copyright things. The last thing you want to do is get in trouble for it. So if you have bought these CDs or whatever, you're wanting to rip them, put them on, realistically, yeah, it's probably not a good idea. Make sure you look up that music, that it is intended for that purpose and that you can use it. What I'm going to show you today, I'm going to show you kind of what they have in YouCut. They do have some music in there. I wouldn't say it's a huge selection, but it's a good selection. And then I'm going to show you what I also found out on the web. Now you got to be careful of that too. So I'm in no ways an expert when it comes to this, but I have done quite a few hours of research and stuff, and this is kind of what I found as of right now, and I'll share that information with you guys. Hopefully it'll help you out too. So when you're adding music, a lot of time they'll give you some text or some information that you can paste. So let's just go specifically for YouTube when we're talking about this. So if I'm finding music, they're going to give me a little clip that I need to copy and paste in the description of my YouTube video. So if you go back in previous videos, you'll see like on some of these videos how I have a ton of music just listed out there. It's because they want me to do that. I was reading up on the rules and everything, and that's what they want. Now, on my YouTube video clips, some of them, I don't think you guys can see it, but on the back end of from what I'm doing, it'll say copyright claim on it. So basically, they found it, and when I clicked it under YouTube Studios, which is an app, and that you can monitor things. It shows you a lot of information about your YouTube videos, how many views, and just a bunch of statistics about that. Now, I don't expect you guys to know any of this, and this is just more of a general idea, okay? So, in that though, it tells you the reasons why you may have got a copyright claim. From the ones from YouCut that they give you, the music that they give you, it says there's a copyright claim, but in the agreement with those songs, I'm allowed to use it for YouTube, okay? So they're allowing me to use it, but if my channel got big enough, and let's just say I start making money off of it and everything like that, they would get part of that income at that point. So that's just something you'll want to know. So if you're planning on to growing your YouTube channel and you want someday to become huge and all that, and you want 100% of whatever income that's coming in from it, probably the best idea is find stuff that won't take that away from you. And also, definitely, guys, do everything the legal way, because I guarantee you, if you put something out there, you will be found. It's just one of these are getting so advanced anymore, they can find that pretty quickly at this point. So, let's go ahead here. And what we're going to do is we're going to add music from what's in YouCut as of right now. So, with nothing selected down below on the video there, from the video clips, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to click on the music icon there.
And you'll be able to find that in the upper bar right by the scissors that say trim on it. So right beside that, you'll see a musical note with the word music underneath it. Go ahead and click on that.
And in here, it's going to give me music that they've given to us to use. So in here, and this is something I'm going to have to do now because I'm in here using some of their music, is when I...
Okay, everybody, so when I start doing this, for whatever reason, the volume of my mic, it gets readjusted with doing this. I don't know if my phone's really meant to be recording plus be doing video editing at the same time. It kind of conflicts more or less with itself. So you're going to hear the volume all over the place. And on top of that, a little bit later in the video, you're going to see where with what I'm saying in the video and where the video's at, it doesn't really match up 100%. I did edit part of it out and made it a little bit better. So it's not too terrible, but it may be a little bit noticeable, but it will eventually get better towards the end as I'm more or less making corrections to correct that for you.
I click it.
hear what's going to play and see how it has
use to the right, and also it has copy at the very bottom. So if I hit the copy, it gives me all the information I need to add to the YouTube clip and put that in the description at that point. Now, if I click use, that's going to throw that music into our video at that point. So let's find something that we really like or want. I want this for that music. So what I do, go ahead and just pause it for right now. And now all four of those songs, and notice how I went down the order just so I can put all that information in the description for YouTube, since now it's going to be playing on there. So we're going to go ahead and click use. That's the button once again to the right. It's orange and it has the word use in it. And just like that, guys, it threw that song in. So now, if I were to play it, let's play from the beginning. And we're going to find that perfect spot where that music is going to start playing in general. Okay, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and play it here, and you guys going to kind of see how it all fits together.
This is my front yard. Okay, so that actually
sounded really good. It fit. I feel like it. The music fit for what we were doing there. But you notice how how that this music's going further than where the after the clip ended or the video has ended. So that's one thing we're going to have to work on here. And what's nice about this, guys, see how that blue line or that blue box is up, but it's real small? That's still the text. Let's say if I have multiple texts, I can stack them on different levels. I don't have to have them right next to each other in the same row. I can stack them a little bit higher. And that's what usually I do. So if I have a ton of text in a video, like back after back, I'll put one right there, right here, and then I'll put one, maybe the next one go up a notch or a level, then come back down, just so it's real nice and organized. It's just easier to deal with. But let's go ahead, and I think what we're going to want to do is get this music where it kicks in exactly where we want it to. So let's go ahead and what I want to do is move this back. I think that's about where I went right there for a second. I think that's where it was. Okay. And then we're going to take the music. And we got to find out or find a place where exactly we want that music to start off with to begin with.
And let's see here. This is my front yard. Okay, so I think right about here where this orange
line is. And what we can do with our music now, and this is including text, wherever you guys decide to, you can bump it against that orange line, and you'll feel a vibration when you do that. So what I'm going to do is click on the music, that yellow bar, one time, and then I'm going to click on it and hold it, and I'm going to drag it all the way to that yellow line, and see how I can pull it to it so it bumps up right against it, because that's where I want it to start. Now, remember I told you at the very end, right here, see how that music runs on forever? I want it to stop right here. So what I'm going to do is, once again, click on that music one time, that yellow bar, and this is going to be real similar to what you guys are already used to. We can actually split the music as well. So I want it at very end, I'm just putting it as far back in where that orange line is, right at the very end of the video clip, and I want to split the music. So if I click off, I don't know if you can tell, but there's like two sections right here. It kind of divots down a little bit, up and down, where I split it. Then I can select the part of the music where I don't want, which is at the very end of the video clip that keeps on going on. So I'm going to go ahead and click that one time, and then I'm going to click delete. And just like that, it's flush with the video clip. So now I got from where it begins where I want to where it ends. Now, it sounds good, okay? But I want to make it more of a professional ending of it. So I want to go ahead and click on the music again. And I want to have that music fade out. So at the very end of the music, I want it to fade out slowly. So what I want to do is I clicked on the music bar again, which is the yellow one. Then in the options or that toolbar, you're going to see where it says fade. So I want to click on fade. And do you see how it says fade in and fade out? Well, you guessed it. You can fade in the music and you can fade out the music. So let's go ahead and to start off with, we're going to just fade out the music for the very end. So I'm going to do that. And I don't know if you know
It shows you
kind of like where it's starting to fade out at. So I'm at 1 second, but I think I want it to be longer than that. I think I want more, maybe, let's do 3 seconds.
And then I'm going to hit the check mark.
So it's giving me a preview too, but I don't want to do that just because I don't want to mess up the microphone, which it may be doing that, and we'll find out when I go to edit this. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click the orange check mark to accept those changes. And then down here, you can kind of see where it's starting to fade, which it starts right about there to the end. So that'd be about the 3 second mark. You can see it in the music there, the music bar. Now, at the beginning, on some music, it's like very pronounced at the beginning. It's just like bang and it starts in and all that. And sometimes it doesn't quite fit into what you're trying to do. In other times, other songs, they kind of fade in generally anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But I'm going to show you how to do this. I think this is one that kind of generally does it by looking at. I'm going to play again just to see, but let's go ahead here.
So it's not really that terrible to begin with. But I'm going to show you this.
Anyways, how I do it, just so you know. So it's the exact same concept as the fade out. It's just going to be fade in this time with the music. So let's go ahead. We're going to click on the yellow bar for the music. And then we're going to click fade. Fade in. We're going to go do that same thing, but let's go ahead and just make it 2 seconds.
So
we can go ahead and we'll press play and we'll see how that sounds now.
So do you see or can you hear?
There was a difference in there. Neither of them were bad by anyway, but when I did the fade, it actually did sound a little bit better than what I thought it would. So I like that we did the fade. Now the one thing you can really notice in there is the sound of the background in the video. And guys, this is what's cool is, let's say right where let me see, how can I do this? Right where that music starts, let's say I want to cut out all the music in the video. So not the music, but the video. And I've also done this in some of my previous videos too. So what I would do is, to start off with, each clip, since I don't want the whole video to be muted, I just want a specific portion of the clips. I'm going to have to go through each one individually and do it. Now, if I wanted everything to be muted, I could easily do that in one shot. But in this scenario, since I really don't want that, I'm going to have to go through each one, okay? So that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to click on the first clip, since that video starts in the first clip. And do you see how I have my orange line or time here, whatever you want to call that? It's right butted up with where the music starts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click split on that clip for the video. This is not for the music, but for the video portion. So that whole thing was highlighted, and I split it. So now I have a portion to the left and portion to the right of that first clip that we did. In that clip, I'm going to do exactly where the music starts. So right under the music, that clip right there where it starts, I want to click on that so it's highlighted. Now, on the toolbar there, I'm going to go over to volume, and I have the option where I can either lower the music down,
So it'll make the video, like, you'll still be able to hear sound, but it just won't be
overpowering or louder. It can make it softer, or I can choose to, hey, let's put that
sucker all the way down to 0 and just mute it. And I think that's what we're going to do for this purpose here. Now,
when I was doing one of my video clips, the Toro one. So if you guys ever watch any of my other video clips, there's a zero turn where I was mowing my yard, and in there I still want the sound from my lawnmower. But what I did is I went down and I turned it down. I think I left it maybe at like 20% or something like that. So I still want you to be able to hear the lawnmower and me mowing, but I want the music to be the main listening focus, I guess. And that came out really good because like you still can hear it, but it's still pleasant to the ear. It wasn't overpowering. I just want something relaxing where you guys can enjoy it. So we did that to just the first clip. So now we gotta go to every single clip after this and do the same thing. So we're going to go ahead to the second clip. I'm going to turn the music all the way
down, or the volume all the way down for just the video clip, and check again. And I know I went through that pretty fast, so the next one
I'm going to go over a little bit slower. So where we had the clouds, the third clip, we once again go ahead, select that, go to volume in the toolbar there. Then we take the volume bar and we're going to drag it all the way to the left.
And it's at 0 right now. And we're going to hit check to save those options. And
once again, we got one more clip left. This is the fourth clip that we did. We're going to select the clip, go ahead in the toolbar, select the volume icon there. And we're going to drag the volume all the way to the left
where it says 0. And we're going to save it by clicking the orange check mark.
So, if we go back, and what's cool is if we look at the very bottom, I don't know if you guys can see this on the screen, guys, but on each portion of the clip that we muted, do you see how in the very lower left hand corner it has a small box there with a speaker and a slash going through it representing that's on mute? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So now, since we split that first clip in half, we would have a total of 5 clips now. So that's why we only see 4 of them, because we wanted the sound because of me saying this is my front yard at the beginning. But then after that, we wanted to mute everything. So let's go ahead and play
here.
This is my front yard.
Okay, guys, you guys kind of get the idea now.
Like, it sounds really good, doesn't it? And that one thing can really just change everything about your video. So something that's so basic can actually become something really cool, you know? So now that was the music within YouCut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So now there's no music. So now this next website that I'm going to show you guys, uh, there's a free version of it and there's a paid version. So with the free version, you're allowed up to 10 downloads a month. And from my understanding, what's required is that you have to copy that description, kind of the same thing as YouCut, that they give you a little thing you copy, and you got to place that in the description of like YouTube or wherever source you're using. So I want to go ahead and show you that. And now there's also a paid version, which gives you a little bit bigger of a selection of music. You don't have ads, and you're allowed to use as many downloads as you want. But what's cool with it, they give you sound effects and they give you music and a bunch of different things. So let's go ahead and I want to show you that. Now, I'm not going to get too terribly crazy with that website, but I'm going to show you just a general idea on a website, the URL or the website name that you can put in there and kind of do a little research on it as well. And maybe I might hit it up in another video, but it's more kind of give you like an idea of you're not just limited to YouCut for audio. But with that being said, you still need to be careful of what you're using and making sure of copyright claims and everything like that. You don't want to break any rules or anything like that. So let's go ahead and let's show you that now. Okay, everybody, so here is the website. It's Uppbeat.io, and that's with two P's in there. So UPP, B as in boy, EAT.io. And in here, I believe when you first go to this, you do have to fill out some information to set up your account. And then they have the options, hey, do you want to pay for this or do you want the free version? And that's up to you to decide what you would like to do. Now, I know while editing this video, I've been going back and forth throughout while I'm talking and stuff. There has been some issues just because I'm playing music and it messes up the mic and kind of puts everything off a little bit. So I think for this demonstration, I'm only going to do one song. And I previously went and found one here. I would love to do multiple songs, but either I need to find different software for the recording to do this better or not. It gets too much and it'll be too much lag behind and all that if I do otherwise. But you have the link there, and I will also be copying and pasting this in the description. So if you ever need go back and reference to it, it'll be all in there as well. But let's go ahead. And what I'm going to do is, well, we actually can take a little tour through this. So they give you different options and kind of summarize what the group of music is in each one. That way you can easily find what you're looking for. So, like for example, if we go here, jump back in, it says easygoing, rocky, and they have like just lush beats, hip hop beats, epic, hype, gaming. So kind of what your videos intend for. They'll have a bunch of different music in there that you can go ahead and choose. Now I want to go for easygoing just because that's more or less what our video is. So we'll go ahead and click that. Then in there, they have a whole huge selection to choose from. And I can even do show more, which more will come up at for this even. So, and this is just one of many options they have within this website. So while I was going through there, I was listening to some music what I would think I would like. And I think the learning one here is the one I kind of think would go well with our video. So I'm going to go ahead and just play a little bit of that. Hopefully it doesn't mess up this recording. Okay, so that sounds pretty easygoing to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the download button, which is to the right. That I guess it would be considered pink with the arrow pointing down. And it says so I originally had downloaded it before, and I can download again, which I'll probably do. And so in here it says, say thanks, show the artist some love by passing the credit below into your video's description. So this is kind of what I was talking about earlier about uh, the YouTube. So what I can do is I can click in the lower right hand corner. It has like it looks like a box or a piece of paper with another one behind it in the lower right hand corner, um, that I can go ahead and select. And so if you look very carefully, it should have a circle around where I'm going to click here. There it goes. And now that copied it to my clipboard, so I then can go ahead and copy that, or paste, I should say, paste that information into the description of my YouTube video or whatever I decide to put in to give that artist a reference. So, so anytime you do this, you want to be making sure you're always doing that, just so there's less complications. Now, it doesn't mean there will never be a copyright claim, and just because you get a copyright claim within YouTube does not mean that you're in trouble per se. It just means that you may not, once again, get paid for the views for that in particular video that you're doing at a later time, if you're ever growing big enough where that may happen. So it's just one of those things, guys. You'll probably have to read up on it there. Maybe in a video later on, I will do a video. And honestly, if I'm being really truthful, I need to study up on myself so I can really teach that. I know a little bit, but not enough to really confidently make a video on that. But anyways, so I went ahead and I downloaded that music to my phone, and what I'm going to do is jump over back to YouCut. Okay, so we're back in YouCut, and what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and once again we're going to click on the music icon. It's or in the toolbar there. It's right next to the scissors, and so we're going to go ahead and just do that real quick. And now by default, I believe it will be on the featured selection there with all the YouCut music. But what we're going to want to do in this scenario is go to My Music. Now, with my phone, what's nice is every time I download from Uppbeat, it automatically puts it in here for me where I don't have to go find the files. Now, you may or may not be so lucky on this, and you may have to go on local music and open up the file where it may save it on your phone. And honestly, it's kind of hard to help everybody on that scenario because it all depends where it saves. Now, hopefully, you have the same experience as I do, where it just automatically puts in. You don't even have to worry about it at that point. If you do, what you're going to basically need to do though is find the path in which where that download is saving to. Then you're going to have to open up YouCut and go to that same directory or that same place, that same folder where it's being saved. And once you do that, all the music will be in there at that point. So, and honestly, guys, that means every phone can be a little bit different. Maybe I'm just lucky. Maybe every phone will be just like mine. I don't know. But that's what happened to me. I didn't even have to go looking for it. It just automatically saved there, which was pretty nice. So, anyways, so we're going to go ahead and select the music that we downloaded from Uppbeat, which was this top one here. So I'm going to go ahead and select it. And let's go ahead and pause that, and then we're going to use it. And what I need to do is we need to bump up this music here. So I'm going to just tap it, drag it, and we're going to match it to where the music should start there. And then we're going to come all the way to the end, because remember, that's going to go past to the end of our video. We don't want that. And so now that we're at the very tail end of the video, we're going to go ahead, and while our music is still selected in there, we're going to go ahead and click on the split in the toolbar. Now that's going to split our music in half, basically, or wherever we told it to split it at. And there's going to be two different portions, one to the left and one to the right. And we're going to select the portion to the right there and delete it. Now, I haven't gone in and listened and viewed all this. I'm going to just take a wild stab at this to save a little bit of time. But we're going to do exactly the same thing that we did to the previous song and fade it in and out both on the in for 2 seconds and the out for, let's do 3 again. So we're just going to match it. And then we're going to click on, I already did it, but go ahead and click on the orange check mark to save that at that point. And once again, if you guys didn't quite catch it, with the music selected, go ahead and click on the fade option in the toolbar there. So the reason why I'm kind of rushing through that is because every time I'm in there, that's what distorts my microphone and everything. I know it can kind of get annoying. I just don't want to do that to you guys. And we did already in a previous or earlier in this video, so that's why I'm just kind of quickly going through that for you. Now, let's go ahead and we're going to start at the beginning again. And we're going to listen to this then. And so it's going to be new for you and I at this point. This is my front yard. So that sounded pretty good as well. So you see how easy that is just to switch up songs and everything. So I think, guys, I'm going to pretty much leave it at that for today. What I'm planning on doing, I have to go through all the songs and make sure I give the credits and everything under my YouTube channel here. So once again, this is tutorial, or part 2, I should say, of the YouCut editing software. So if you like it, guys, maybe you want to subscribe to my channel. That way, as I'm pushing these out, you know, I'm sure I'm going to have a 3rd and 4th and maybe even a 5th one in this, that you guys are getting the most up-to-date videos. That way you guys can stay on top of it. But once again, guys, just keep on plugging away at this. I know, like, I went into really good detail, but I just want to make sure you guys are really understanding it, getting it all here. So have fun. Keep on editing those videos there, and I'm looking forward to possibly even seeing some. If you guys are creating them, throwing them on YouTube, hey, throw some links of your stuff in the comments. I'd be happy to look at them and see how you guys are making progress. And you know, if you guys say, hey, you need to do this a little bit better for us, or we need a better understanding of this, let me know. And you know, if I can help you out, I'd be more happy to maybe make another video about that, to just maybe recap some stuff or go over something you guys are having issues with. So once again, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.
Dad swag.